Okay, let's get it. Back at it. It's my first interview post surgery, so excuse the lisp. Got some dental surgery. Got my boy Flip back. Part two. It's good to see you, man. So we spoke about 10 months ago. Life's a lot different. You were expecting then, and now you got a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
Tell me what that's like.
I mean, being a dad is crazy, Never thought I don't know, you never think it'll be you until it's you. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a blessing. I'm loving it.
What's What do you think is the first? What was like the first thought that came to your mind, if you can remember, when you saw her come out of the womb?
It was crazy. I almost passed out.
For real?
Yeah, hell yeah, I almost passed out. It was crazy. I like closed my eyes and I opened them and she was just here. It was crazy.
So like going from like no kids to one, because I know some people who now have multiple kids, and they talk about how once you have your first one, you can kind of know what you're doing more. So I mean, of course, you never know exactly what you're doing, but you know more so.
Yeah.
But what's it like going from being the most important person in your life to no longer being the most important person in your life? Like what's that like?
I mean, it's just it's a different responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, every move I make now is in thought of her. So, I don't know, it just make you want to be more on top of your game.
Yeah. So as an athlete, do you think you've seen a change in your approach to your body and things in your mind after becoming a father?
I'm disciplined. I'm an old school athlete. I still get up super early. You know what I'm saying? I've taken this time off from ball just to get things taken care of at the crib. But I still get up super early. I still eat well. I still meal prep. I still take my health very, very seriously. So hasn't been too much change.
Okay. It's funny you say that because I don't know if you've seen Chad Ochocinco. He has raved about his diet and how he ate a lot of McDonald's.
Yeah.
But then you got guys who take their body very seriously. I know, people like LeBron, and you got people, who are just super disciplined. And so it's crazy how the guys who seem to take better care of their body, of course, people at their peak do their thing, but the longevity effect, what age would you say you want to play into?
Like I said, I do everything in thought of my child. So now I just want to be able to play long enough so she can peep what's going on and see and understand and remember it. You know what I'm saying? That's what's most important to me. So whether that be her at 4, 5, 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? When she can really understand, damn, my daddy, you know what I'm saying, really play ball in front of all these people over here and they love him and they celebrate him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want her to be able to experience it. Once she does it, then I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in life.
Okay. And so I know you kind of alluded to off camera, taking this year off. What's that like? Like as an athlete, because you're what, 28?
I just turned 29 yesterday.
Oh, damn. Hey, happy birthday. Yo, that's what I love about you, man. A lot of people will make it be known.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
So what is it like taking a year off, honestly, in your prime as an athlete?
For me, you got to understand, I've been playing ball since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? I started playing ball very early and started taking it serious very early. So, I haven't had a break my whole life. You know what I'm saying? This is my first break. Yeah, even when the year after I graduated high school, I couldn't go to school that first year after high school because of some BS I was going on. But I had to sit out that year. But even that year, I played prep. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I've never really had a year off. I mean, it's strange. You know what I'm saying? It's strange not being in season right now and not going through the motion of the season and stuff, but it's some things that's a little bit more important. I'm a grown man now, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta take care of what I gotta take care of. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talked kind of off camera about how we live in this era of now everybody has a Twitter, everybody has an opinion, everybody gets to write a damn think piece whenever they want, and so now as an athlete who's a father, like, do you does it kind of like change your opinion on other athletes? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I feel like for us, it's like we just see athletes. We may see an athlete have a 15-year career, but not take into account that maybe year 6, maybe they may have had twins. Year 8, maybe they went through a divorce. Yeah. So like, just like how do you view other athletes now that you're in this position of like you're not just flip the athlete, you're a father first, who's an athlete.
I mean, I view parenthood extremely different all the way around now, not just with athletes, you know what I'm saying, as far as everything goes, even when it comes down to dating, you know what I'm saying. I used to say I wouldn't date, or I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, but, just with people who have children, but now I understand, like, over the course of time, what can happen in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, how people might not work out, or, like, the responsibilities that come with, you know what I'm saying, being a parent. So, I take it off for what it's worth now. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm in it, it's crazy. It's beautiful, but it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Okay. How long you been growing your hair out?
10 years.
Damn, a decade. I'm about 2 years now. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think of the maintenance and the upkeep for a decade.
Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of upkeep. But I tend to keep the same people in my head. Like, I don't let too many people touch my hair. It get real personal,
I feel you.
Yeah.
Do you have a desired style for your daughter?
We gonna go with whatever she wanna go with, I mean, if she want locks, that'd be dope, but if not, she gonna be beautiful either way,
So, I know we spoke last season. Were you in the middle of the season? It was January.
Yeah.
So, how the season end up going, and what was your synopsis of yourself for the season?
Well, I was going through a lot with the pregnancy of the mother of my child. It was just a lot. I ended up ending the season a little early, and coming on home and taking care of what I need to take care of, and things that involve me being the best dad that I can be. So. I ended up leaving a little early. I wasn't playing as well as I should have played and I could have played, But, things happen. That's why I took a year off. Let me get myself together, my situation together. When I come back, I'll be even better than before. So, I ain't tripping.
So with a year off, do you think you could actually become better because you have more time to work on your game?
Yeah, it all depends on how you approach it. You know what I'm saying? As an athlete, however you approach it. If you're in the gym and you're locked in, laser focused, like you're supposed to be, then absolutely. You're gonna get better at things as you do them over time. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you repeatedly do, you're gonna get better with. So, it just depends on how you approach it. Now, if you lazy and you drinking and you smoking and you doing all this other stuff and not really taking care of what you need to take care of, then gonna be a little bit more difficult for you. Your comeback is gonna be a little bit more, hard. So I try to. I'm disciplined. I stay on top of my game. I'm still up at 5:30 in the morning, still in the gym, still eating right. I do what I gotta do.
So what's your do you have a? Well, I'm sure you do. So what's your like strength and conditioning routine, and then what's your like? You have like 500 makes or like, you know what I'm saying, or a certain amount of makes and stuff?
The makes vary, you know what I'm saying? But as far as strength and conditioning, I lift 6 times a week, once a day. I'll switch it up. I might do morning. I'm a morning person, so I get up early. I want to knock things out early. That way by 11, 12 o'clock, my day is done. I can do whatever I want to do. But, I lift 6 days a week. Once a day, I condition, I get up shots. I'm in the gym all the time, and one thing about me, I don't really post my workouts. That was something I was doing when I was younger. But as I got older, it started getting annoying seeing how people were posting workouts but weren't showing how they was getting better on the court. So it was just like, I stopped posting workouts. But yeah, I'm in that gym.
Okay. So when you say you lift, because I've always wondered this with basketball players. Because I met a guy, his name was David Young, played for Xavier, probably back in like late 2000s, early 2010s ish.
Yeah.
And I remember him, we were at the gym with AJ, and he was explaining to AJ that his focus was really on shoulders, triceps, and chest.
Yeah.
So when you say you lift, do you do a lot of actual weightlifting? Do you do more calisthenics, or you know what I'm saying? Like how what's the most effective strength workout for a basketball player?
Upper body. Working on your upper body. It just depends on the player and what your style of play is, really. You know what I'm saying? What works for you may not work for him. So I focus more on my upper body. My legs are really, really strong. I do lower body, but not as much as upper. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of calisthenics. And I lift, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta be strong, you know? You gotta be strong. It's a man's game. So you can't not lift, but you gotta lift according to what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Lift smarter, not harder. So,
That makes sense because Steph would probably lift different than Draymond.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
True. Okay. So on that wave of strength and conditioning, what is the like when it comes to the actual conditioning? Like, what do sprints? Because I remember back in high school running a lot of sprints. Mm-hmm. Do sprints more so help with basketball, or is it more long distance running?
Playing basketball is what helps with basketball. The easiest way for me to get in shape is like hooping up and down,
Okay.
or ones or something like that. That's the best way to get in game shape because you stopping, you pausing, you're going full speed, you're getting into your game, you know what I'm saying. So that's the best way for me to personally get in shape. I can't stand. You gotta do it, you know what I'm saying? It's necessary to do, but I hate the sprints, you know what I'm saying? Everybody hates sprints and all that stuff, but it's all beneficial to your game, you know what I'm saying? It just, what works for you, you know? I still get in the gym and do 16 sideline to sideline. I still get in the gym and do suicides. I got to because that's what everybody else is doing, so, you know.
Okay. So, how many jump shots do you make a day? Or do you have a number?
Probably like it could be anywhere from like 2,500 to 3,000 a day.
Oh my.
Between morning and night, because I'll shoot both. I'll shoot morning time and nighttime. So anywhere between 2,500 3,000 a day.
Yo.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because if you're doing that many makes, that means you gotta be shooting more than that.
Yeah. Because you gotta shoot the weights off. So I lift early in the morning. So as soon as I'm done lifting, I'm in the gym shooting. So you gotta shoot them weights off, or you're gonna mess up your shot. So, you know, it goes hand in hand, lifting weights and shooting the ball. You know, so I shoot a lot.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that point up. So, when you're strength training, are you trying to get stronger or are you just trying to maintain weight? Because I know, like, once you start to get strong to a certain degree, like you said, it can really affect your jump shot. So, like, what's the goal?
It's hard for me to maintain weight. I have a really high metabolism, so like it's hard for me to maintain it doing cardio. So the you just want to stay strong. You know, I just try to stay as strong as possible. So when I'm in the paint banging, or when I'm getting to the rim, or when I'm locking up on defense, you know what I'm saying, I can fight back, I can bounce back. So I just try to stay strong because my weight fluctuates during the season. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing so much cardio. So I don't try to get huge because but yeah, I just try to stay strong as possible.
Okay. And so, food-wise, what's your diet like?
I eat a lot of proteins. I eat rice every single day. Like, I eat rice every day. Sometimes I might switch it up and eat mashed potatoes, but I eat rice every day. And vegetables and fruit. A lot of water. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really eat snacks. I don't really eat cereal. Yeah,
Okay. You eat a lot of dairy?
no, not a lot of dairy.
Okay.
Not a lot of dairy.
Okay. Okay. This is the shit I meant to ask last time. Okay. And so now to the season, like the in season stuff. Even though you're now, this season you're not playing.
Yeah.
I know I kind of asked you this a little bit off camera, but we see athletes get traded and move teams and do all these things during the season. And like I was saying, like for us, I think sometimes when I say us, I mean non-athletes. People who just observe and may love the game but don't really have the real insight. Like, what is it like switching teams or switching cities and how do you actually literally get the living situation handled? Because like I brought up Josh Dobbs, quarterback from the Vikings, who it's like week 11 in the NFL. He's been traded. Yeah. So it's his third team in 11 weeks. And so my mind always goes to, cool, yeah, you got to learn the playbook and learn new teammates. But after that, nigga, where the hell you going to live? You know what I'm saying? So like literally how do y'all, how's the living, how do y'all get that shit together so quickly?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people have realtors, you know what I'm saying, to guide them through their process. And I'm sure people know that they could be traded, at any moment or any time. So I don't really know how NBA and all that works. I know with us, they already have our stuff mapped out. So like if I play summer league and like I did last season, if I play summer league in Uruguay, I'll be the whole summer they'll have me like in the nicest hotel on the top floor, like the penthouse suite, and I'll be posted up there for like the whole summer for summer league. But then when the actual season comes in October, they'll ship me to Argentina and I'll have like a condo, you know what I'm saying? But all of that will already be taken care of before I get there. So we don't really have to worry about it too much overseas because like every stop, even if they don't have your condo ready, they'll put you in like the nicest hotel. You'll get everything for free, everything laid out. So, it's pretty easy overseas.
Word, okay.
Yeah.
So how does the pay work? Like I'm sure it's different for different leagues and things, but like, are we talking like one payment a month typically, or like maybe bi-weekly, or like what's the pay structure like?
I always got paid monthly on and then overseas you start getting paid 30 days after you land. So 30 days after you touch the ground, you're gonna start getting checks and stuff. I was getting paid every month, or sometimes I get paid the 1st and the 15th. But yeah, that's how they did it. And then in certain places they would give me like American cash type shit. So
okay. And so so when you're in the season, like I know you said like a lot of stuff gets paid for. I'm sure meals and stuff get paid for. So like, do you find yourself saving more money during the season than the off season?
So where I've gone, I've been blessed enough to get like free meals at most of the restaurants around the city. So, but you get tired of eating their food sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You get tired of eating. Like I got tired of eating all that stuff in Argentina. So I'd eventually start going to like the flea markets and getting like fresh fish or like getting meats and chicken and stuff. And I cook at the crib. Like eventually you're gonna start wanting to cook because you're gonna want food from back home, and they don't sell it out there. So you're gonna have to whip it up yourself. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would start cooking. But sometimes I stroll through the city and grab something.
Right. So I've heard this from people who have been overseas. I haven't traveled overseas yet. Is there really a difference in like in the food, like the quality, like how it makes your body feel, like dead ass?
Yeah, especially in Europe, because Europe has like you can eat McDonald's in Europe and be straight, or Canada. Like when I was in Canada, I was eating Subway. I was eating McDonald's. I was eating all that, but it's all fresh food. You know what I'm saying? Like in Montreal, there's like no overweight people, but they got McDonald's and all this fast food stuff out there. It's fresh. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different the way they do things. Like their menu is completely different. It's completely different.
Word. Okay. And now that we're on the kind of the overseas wave and just the differences.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen some recent I've seen more players come out recently who have either played in the NBA and overseas, or maybe played in the NBA and for an international team or something. What do you think is the biggest difference you've seen between American basketball and basketball everywhere else in the world?
The structure. It's way more structure overseas, because you got to think, these guys turn pro at 15, 16 years old. So Luka Doncic has been playing against grown men, the best of the best of what they have to offer, where they're from, since he was 15 years old. That's why he can be over here. Luka seems like he's 32, 33. Luka is like 24.
It's so crazy.
He like 24. His game's so mature. You know what I'm saying? They know their fundamentals are, since they're not as athletic as us, they're way more intelligent. You know what I'm saying? They can think the game. They think we're stupid.
Really?
They think it's all a show. They think the NBA is all a show. Even when I'm in Argentina, they don't even watch NBA basketball.
Really?
They don't care. If it ain't one of their own playing, they don't really care. They rather watch them. Like they be watching their games and stuff. They be showing up. Have you ever seen an overseas game?
I've seen like the environments. That shit looks like hell.
Overseas game crazy. They fans and stuff. They're very proud of where they're from. They rep where they're from. They're very proud of what's going on. So they take those games 200% serious. It's all love. They be having their flags and stuff. It's all love.
Is it more physical?
Absolutely. In the NBA, you can't really touch anybody. Overseas, like, that's why they be coming over here ready. You gotta think, the last few MVPs of the league are not Americans. They're from overseas.
That's valid. Giannis, Jokic, Luka's becoming. All he need to do is win some more games.
The overseas guys, they be ready to go. Like, it's some guys that I played against in the La Liga in Argentina. Shit, even in El Metro in Uruguay, that was dead nice. Talking dead nice. Point guards, big man. Like, you see some of the best in the world when you playing overseas. Not just in the States, but in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, it should be crazy, bro.
So do you think there will come a day where the world and the USA will even out? Like,
as far as what?
Okay, well, I guess before I even say that, do you think that the United States still has the most talent?
The most talent? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got the most talent.
Okay.
We still got the most talent. But as far as, like, they catching up. Catching up for sure. Like, it's getting to the point where, like, yeah, they're catching up. But the USA is always going to be the USA. If we put our top talent out there, nobody's beating us.
Yeah. Because one thing I thought about recently, I'm like, it's crazy that Steph has never played in the Olympics. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think he's going to play in the next one.
Yeah, I think
he said he's going to play.
I think this team, I think that dude from the soccer team pissed everybody off.
Yeah, from the track team. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
From the United States, and the crazy thing is he was from the United States. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, what's the beef?
Yeah,
that's why I was thinking, like, what's the beef? You supposed to be one. You got a USA shirt on.
Right.
Weird.
But he probably did the best thing possible for us, because now when I'm thinking Steph,
Bron,
KD, Bron, Book. Ooh, Kyrie maybe. Well, I don't know. Kyrie, we know talent wise. I don't know if they'll put him on the USA team. But to that, who do you think is the best player you've ever played against overseas that never stepped foot in the league?
That's tough.
We'll just throw some. Okay, well, how about this? The first few names you can think of.
That never stepped foot. I'm going to say Torian Graham. He one of the best buckets I ever seen. Period. Ty Newman from Livingstone, man. He was cold. Ty was cold. He wasn't super fast, but he was strong. He like 6'5". He could shoot. He can get to the rim. Yo, he turned Livingstone up. Ty Newman for sure. Torian. It's so many guys, bro. It's so many guys because you gotta think it's a lot that don't make it.
Yeah.
And I've played against so many guys, man. I don't know. I can't list. I don't know.
Have you ever played? I know we were talking about Mike James off camera. Have you ever played against Mike James?
Nah, I ain't played against Mike.
Cause that nigga can't.
Yeah, Mike Cold.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from basketball, you said you started a business. Hey, congrats.
Appreciate it.
Tell us about it.
I started a security company with my homeboy Charlin, my right hand man. We started a security company. We contracted at a few different places. We got a place in Charlotte, a CBD store. We got a shopping center in Cary. So around the North Carolina area, we trying to branch out, trying to get here to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's called F&M Enterprise. So we try to put our enterprise a little bit of everywhere on the southeast region. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think sparked the true want? Because I feel like we're in an era where you can get on Instagram and everybody says, "Oh, I would love to start a business." But like, what do you think was there like something that made you be like, "Yo, I should really do this"?
Having a child, bro. Having a child. You got to think about what you going to do after hoops. You know what I'm saying? After this shit, after that ball get done bouncing, what you going to do? So my thing was I needed to figure out like what was always going to be a need. You know what I'm saying? What are people always going to need? I'm not a cook. You know what I'm saying? People are always going to need food. I don't cut hair or nothing like that. But I used to bounce. You know what I'm saying? I got a history of doing bouncing in clubs and stuff. Being some, like through college, you know what I'm saying? They would grab some of the bigger basketball players. We go bounce through clubs. And so I used to do that in Charlotte coming through college at Livingstone. Then I done it out here in the A, a few different places, you know. So, yes, I just thought to myself, like, shit, people going to always need security. So let me see what's up.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, you know, especially places, Charlotte,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I know Cary was ranked safest city in North Carolina numerous times the past decade. So security is a big thing. So what do you think, like, or not, let me not say what do you think. What are like the practical steps for someone who wanted to start a security business? Like, what do you actually have to like do?
I mean, there's no overhead, so you good off of that. There's really no overhead. You know what I'm saying? If you can ground up a group of guys, a group of solid guys who know how to handle themselves, start up an LLC. You got to go get insurance on your company. You got to get your company insured, and from there, you know what I'm saying, you can get the ball rolling. You got to figure out how you can get contracts, how you can promote yourself to these businesses. So whether that means social media or pulling up on businesses, hopping out, you know what I'm saying? I suggest having everything have everything on hand, have business cards, have uniforms, have everybody suited and booted and ready to go. That way when you go present yourself to these people, they already know you're serious, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you gotta take the time and get everything right. Once you get everything right, you can go push the movement, you know what I'm saying? Cause we every weekend, if we not doing nothing, or we got time, we pulling up. We got a company truck. We got a 3500 dually. We pulling up, like hopping out. Hey, y'all need security for these premises?
Oh, y'all pull like that?
What? We got the dually, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna pull up on you. We got our logo on the side. We make our presence known, you know what I'm saying? When we go and we secure a place or a property or a club or something, you gonna know as soon as you pull up, oh yeah, F&M Enterprise out there. So we come. We don't play no games.
Okay. So how long from the conception of the idea to your first client, or would you call it client? Well, to your first client. How long was like that? How long was the timeline?
We hit the ground running. We was blessed to be able to get an opportunity with a person that we knew. So it was somebody there that owns several different properties, and that kind of like gave us a shot with his first property. But before then, we had got a property out in Charlotte. just by networking and just word of mouth. I'm pushing our stuff on social media, and anytime somebody asks about security, they tagging me. So it's just like, shit, what you trying to do? Let's talk these terms. Here go my business proposal. You can look over it. These are the terms and the negotiations. I mean, anything, you know what I'm saying? Anything you want to look over.
So I know you said like you guys start with the insurance. Well, that's one of the main factors, because whenever I think about like bouncers and security, I always think like somebody, you gotta have security because people be wilding.
Yeah.
So like, do you also have like a legal team, or is that kind of with the insurance?
Yeah, it's like, we do have a lawyer that's on our team, just for legal purposes, just in case anything serious happens, because we do offer armed and unarmed services. So yeah, we do have a lawyer. But main thing is you gotta have that insurance to cover yourself, just in case anything were to happen. So yeah.
So is there a difference? Like once you start going armed, does that take another do you have to have a different kind of insurance for armed?
Nah, you don't have to have a different. As far as I know, you know what I'm saying, we don't do too much armed stuff yet.
Okay.
But as far as I know, you don't. I could be wrong, but don't quote me. But yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. So would you like to stay more like in the unarmed security, or would you want to start moving like to, I guess, venues that, let me think of it, like a strip club?
I'm where the bread at.
Okay.
I'm comfortable anywhere. Me and my team, F&M, we comfortable anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We been doing this. My right-hand man, Shaw, he been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Our team, we well prepared, armed, unarmed. We can handle ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It don't really matter. So we about that bread.
Okay, cool. Okay. So now that you started this business, this company, and it's going well, does it have you kind of thinking like, damn, I would maybe want to venture into something else, like any other type of business, or are you kind of trying to make like hone in on this?
I mean, you never know. Things change. Things happen over time. You know what I'm saying? You never really know. I know with our LLC right now, we're doing we just added freights and hauling to our LLC with the dually. So you know what I'm saying? If you need anything moved or you got any type of loads you need moved around, just holler at us. F&M Enterprise.
Hey, I love. Yo, so it's funny that you mentioned once you had your daughter, things changed, because some of my best friends, they're starting to have kids, and they all share that same thing of like, and I've seen the change in them. Just it's like a switch.
Yeah.
So with that said, like, how is your mind when it comes to like being a father? Like how do you approach the day by day? Like, and when I say the day by day, like, because whenever I think of just like children, I'm like, damn, they're mad impressionable. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
it's so crazy how like you can say something good or bad, to them at like the age of 5. And you never know, that could be the thing that sticks
That they
with them.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how do you like? Has it made you? Because I know you said you're already disciplined, and as an athlete, especially as a basketball player, I know attention to detail is important.
Yeah.
So have you just seen like? Have you watched your like actions become more meticulous? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much for me, I'm real careful about what I do and what I put out there. You know what I'm saying? I do things like these podcasts. I do things like, talk to kids and help the youth and stuff, so my daughter can look back later and be like, okay, this is what my pops was on. Like, this is who he was. This is what he stood for. You know what I'm saying? So I say things, I do things. I try to keep my image as to what I want her to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm unapologetic with who I am and what I say and what I believe in. So, like, I put myself out there in thought of, okay, one day she gonna look back and she gonna be able to see like what's going on. So yeah, I'm very careful with my words. I'm very careful with my actions. I take my time, and I always have her in mind, like every single move I make. It don't matter what it is. I can go buy something at the store. I'm gonna look around the store and scan the store and see if I see anything for her. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
always keep her in mind anytime I do anything. So yeah,
Okay, that's a beautiful thing, yo.
yeah.
So, do you think having a daughter at 28 was helpful as opposed to maybe having it at an earlier age?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause it sat me down. You know what I'm saying? It sat me down like single bachelor doing what I wanted to do. But you know, it's kind of sat me down, had me focus more on the more important things, like starting a business and doing more things for the youth in my community. Cause I got time to take a load off and really look at life at what it is outside of just basketball. My whole life has been nothing but basketball. You know what I'm saying? So now that she's here, I can just kind of like, okay, what else? You know, it's easy. My transition gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be no bitterness. It ain't gonna be nothing. It's gonna be easy because I can fall back and like enjoy what my daughter got going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, man. It's cool.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, now that you've lived overseas for what about? Well, let me. Okay. Now that you've lived overseas.
Cut.
Right. Hey, Rhonda, we'll edit that.
Edit that.
Now that you've lived overseas for some time, and of course you're from America, you know, from North Carolina.
Yeah.
If you could choose, where would you raise your daughter?
South America. Pretty much anywhere through South America, just not one of the more poverty-stricken cities. But like, she could come with me to Argentina. We can slide. She can come with me to Uruguay, Brazil, something like that. Like, or Panama. I like Panama a lot. Yeah, so I can see her. I can see her growing up out there in the Spanish culture.
Okay, because I know you've mentioned like, you know, kids coming to games, autographs and things like that, and the youth out there. What do you like? Do you see a difference in the youth in, we'll just use South America for example, but just over the world, like in the youth here? And if so, like what is like the most glaring thing?
Well, the youth around the world and in South America especially, they're not exposed to as much. You know what I'm saying? They're not exposed, so they can really appreciate things more. You know, they appreciate people, especially the Americans that come there. They appreciate them for their time there. You know, like you got to think we're there like 9 months out the year. You would think we grew up there and lived there or whatever because they love and show so much love to you. So it's yeah. The kids there are great, man. They're dope. They really appreciate everything that they get to see, you know.
So when you say exposed, like almost how like Instagram, or like you can get on YouTube, Instagram, and just see anything.
Yeah, like I don't know. They don't really care. They're more hands on. Like they doing every Sunday. They have this thing called asados. It's like family barbecues where everybody come through. They got the fire pit. They cooking meats in the fire pit. Like even our team, we had them every Sunday, asados every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So like in some places they everybody eat at the same time, 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. Everybody got to stop what you're doing. All businesses are closed and we gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like more cultural, more homegrown there as to out here, everybody doing their own thing.
That's so interesting because, like I said, I've been on this earth 32 years. I haven't been overseas yet. And so hearing that is almost hard to fathom. You know? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. But then it makes me think like back to the basketball, you know. I feel like that reflects in the game because when I think of American basketball, it's funny how you said that like overseas they think it's a show.
Yeah.
I feel like the United States culture is so, like you said, everyone's doing their own thing, and it literally shows up in basketball. I think we're way more. It's just so one-on-one geared, you know. It's funny how even you said, you know, you don't post your workouts anymore because it's so I almost get annoyed watching people's workouts because some of it seems unrealistic to a degree.
It is. And like these trainers are doing these kids a disservice. I was just talking about it to my people the other day. You got trainers and coaches and all this stuff who was getting cut. You ain't got no background and nothing you talking about. You ain't never accomplished anything that you trying to teach. So it's just like, how can you teach the game to the youth? You know what I'm saying? That's a terrible teacher. I would never put my daughter in with a coach who, you know, like, I don't know. The things that are being taught now is kind of like, it's all social media driven. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary stuff. You know, so like when I get in the gym, I'm old school. I don't need much. You know what I'm saying? I'm zoned out. Me and one of my trainers or one of the people that I trust, and we in there, we getting it in. We gonna shoot jump shots. We gonna 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull up. We gonna work on our handle. You know what I'm saying? We gonna shoot free throws. We gonna do everything that actually matters. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna translate to the game. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing all these trainers teach these kids stuff or teach these guys stuff, and they can't even do half of it in the game. So it's like, you know, it's strange to me. It's strange to me.
So if you had to, let's say there's a 10-year-old watching this interview right now. If you had to just write out the most simplistic yet efficient and realistic workout, what would you suggest like they work on?
You need to work on your mid-range. You need to work on your free throws, ball handling. Pretty much the basis of it. You know what I'm saying? You need to shoot. You need to shoot your ass off. You need to work on your three-pointer, your mid-range, your free throws. Every level, you need to work on scoring from every level. You know what I'm saying? Shooting the ball from every level. Corner shots, wing shots, elbow shots, like a real strategic but basic yet simple workout, you know what I'm saying? Because it's about the reps. It's about the repetition. Whatever you do good, you need to go in the gym and do that over and over and over and over and over until it's perfect. Until it's perfect. When Kevin Durant shoots mid-ranges, they always look good. Always. It don't matter. Even when he missed, you're like, damn, I thought that shit was going in. He don't miss by much. Even Kobe and Michael Jordan, Kobe, when he shoot, that shit go through the back of the net. We already know where it's going. If he misses on him, it's not because of defense. It's because of whatever he did wrong.
So what do you think, what age, I guess, do you think kids should start adding the advanced moves? Like you mentioned Kobe and Mike. Like at what age would you start adding fadeaways, you know, kind of side steps, you know, like what age you think, or around what grade, you know, what age range is that appropriate? Because I think sometimes, like you're saying, you know, you look online, you got these kids 8 years old doing advanced moves, which, I mean, you know, what do you think?
I think like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Once you start getting into the circuit and you playing against guys that are ranked, and these are the guys that you're going to continue to play against up through high school and stuff like that, because as y'all get older and y'all bodies change, your game going to change. It's going to get more mature. You're going to get bigger, stronger, faster. You know what I'm saying? Kids are going to be longer. They're going to be able to play better defense. So that's when you start getting into your – up until then, learn all the basics. You know what I'm saying? Learn everything that's beneficial towards winning a real basketball game. But after that, go ahead and get into your bag, you know what I'm saying? Pull out your go-tos, you know what I'm saying? And perfect those. Perfect your go-tos, perfect your game. You can't lose.
Okay. Who's your favorite player in the league right now?
Kyrie.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving.
What? I've been meaning to ask you this. I meant to ask you this last time. Because there was a discussion on positions.
Yeah.
And it's funny because later on after our conversation, there was a question of who's the greatest point guard of all time. You know, it was basically up between Magic and Steph. Well, I mean, that seemed to be the consensus of like who's the best. But it's crazy because when I look at Steph, I don't see him as a point guard. And then when I look at Jokic, I don't see him as a center. and it's almost crazy. And I'm not. This ain't for clickbait, but sometimes I'm like, yo, Jokic is a point guard, and I feel like the only because I was watching a Nuggets game the other night, and I'm like, yo, this dude be leading the fast break like 80% of the time. Oh yeah. And so, who like? Do you see the game as positionless? Because I feel like now more than ever, we are almost at a positionless game.
I think it's. I don't think it's positionless. I think guys are getting more skilled and can just do more things. You know what I'm saying? Like so, Jokic, where he can bring the ball down and he can play make, he can also post your ass up and put you in the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where Steph can get it off the ball and run through 1,000 screens, he can also come down, lead the break or start the offense or find and pick and do whatever he needs to do as a point guard. So I don't think it's positionless, but I do think it's more. It's just more it's more sauce to the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna find your big guys who can do a lot. You know what I'm saying? It, like as time goes, the game gonna keep changing and changing. KD brought in the wings who could, the real tall guys who could dribble and shoot.
Yeah.
Jokic is bringing in that center that can do it all. Like the game gonna change. Steph brought in the shooting point guard. You know what I'm saying? Point guards used to be pass the ball, set up the offense. But now point guards are really coming down and killing you from half court.
Damn.
So,
yeah.
So, you know, the game's just gonna keep changing.
Okay. And so I think with that said, we're now in the Wemby era. Mm-hmm. Well, yo, what do you think about Wemby? That shit is crazy to watch.
I think Wemby is so damn big. We're like his game gonna catch up to him. You know what I'm saying? He's still learning what the NBA is. He's still, cause he's young. You know what I'm saying? He's still growing into his body. Like Wemby's gonna be a problem, bro. He's gonna be a problem. I don't care how many bad games he has. I've seen what I needed to see. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm looking at when I look at him. So
yeah,
and he's with the right organization. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into something really, really special. So. Yeah, we just gonna have to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause when I there was a clip from that they had of him. It kind of circulated this summer before he was even in the league, and he kind of walked somebody down. He walked like a guard down, and the guard was kind of giving him fits. But at 7, I'm like, yo, this dude's 7'4". He was handling it, gave it up. He kind of repositioned himself on the wing, and I was watching him move, and I'm like, yo, because I know people try to compare him to Bol,
Yeah.
but I think once you watch 5 minutes, you can see there's a difference.
Yeah.
And so, where do you think he could end up being in the GOAT discussion one day?
I think he's off to a good start. I think him and Bol have a lot of similarities. Bol is around that same height and can handle it. Like we know we see when we see Bol. The difference between them two is one is content where they at and the other one wants to be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? It's like Melo and LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like one is where they are and the other one's headed for greatness. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know. But I think Wemby is gonna be, if Wemby sticks to the course and Lord forbid he doesn't get hurt, he'll be fine, bro. He's definitely gonna be one of the greatest. Like you can't teach height, and the skill at that height has never been seen before. So, you know, recipes for success.
Yeah, and I think one thing I like about him is he seems like he seems to enjoy playing defense.
Yeah,
you know,
does.
And I think that's the thing that makes me the most sad about the United States game is I feel like with the evolution of offense and YouTube and you know you get more Kyries and you get so much focus on offensive skill set that I feel like you know the natural just want to lock somebody down has kind of evaporated and when I see him play you know and erasing guys shots you know sometimes 2 in the possession I'm like, okay, I feel like this is what's missing. Because when we look at Kobe, when we look at Mike,
Yeah.
you know, it's great. People love to highlight their scoring, but okay. But to me, what separated Mike and Kobe is the fact that yes, they want to give you 50, but they also want to hold you to 0.
The game not as personal as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Every night, you gotta think about it. When you watch the NBA, every night somebody is scoring 50. Or a team is getting 160 points or something crazy going on. There's really no personal. There's nobody in the league who personally just enjoys shutting people down now. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of any. Drew Holiday. Besides Drew, then who you talking about? Like, there's nobody.
Probably Pat.
Yeah, people don't really take the challenge no more. Nobody wants to get killed. It's the social media era, so
Yeah.
it's different. It's team defense now. There's no really watch out. Kawhi probably can still do it if he has to, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I always think, from my perception, I blame 2 things for that. Like you said, one is social media and YouTube. You know, because like you said, nowadays, you get if you go up to challenge a shot and you get dunked on, the gym's gonna stop. Everybody's gonna tap in your head, and you're gonna be on House of Hoops. You're gonna be on OT. You know what I'm saying? And it's that. And then also, do you remember the brawl at the Palace? Mm-hmm. I feel like that, because of how ugly that was and the public perception, I feel like that was the end of the era of basketball that a lot of people enjoy, that 90s rough. You know, take it personally, because even if you look at the scores back then, you know, because it's funny, that was around the same time as the N1 era. And it was getting to a point where scores weren't in the hundreds. They were the 2 best teams, well, two of the best teams were the Pistons and the Spurs, you know, and you kind of still had this element of ruggedness. I feel like after that, after the brawl, the NBA said, all right, we got to rebrand. And this game needs to be way more finesse and physical. We need higher scores. And I feel like those 2 things, because YouTube kind of came right after that, I feel like those 2 things have kind of killed the competitive spirit of basketball and AAU. I think, you know, if it's the 80s, and you're Michael Jordan, or it's the 90s, you know, you hear a lot about, you know, that's why I love All the Smoke, you know. That's probably my favorite podcast. Hearing them talk, you know, and you hear Steven Jackson and those guys talk, you know, they may play against a guy, like, you hear about Baron Davis, but you've only heard about Baron Davis. And you know what I'm saying? So now you get this hype, and it's like, oh, well, I got to go kill this dude.
Yeah.
But now, when you got cats, you can see them online, and you might play AAU with them twice a year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've just gotten to this point where everybody's friends, and it's,
even in the NBA, everybody's friends. Everybody want to play with each other. Like, I don't understand it. That's why I don't really want to coach. Like, I don't really want to coach, because it's like the game's gotten so watered down and it's so weird. But I still enjoy watching it, though. You know what I'm saying? I still enjoy watching these young guys come out here and do their thing. But I'm just so old school. I don't know how me and this youth would mix as far as, like, competing. I don't believe in a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not cool with my opponents. Like, I'm trying to destroy my. You remember how it was? Man.
Yeah.
It was a little different. So
yeah.
I don't know. You're right, though. It's definitely not what it used to be. For real.
Yeah, because I think Dame tried his best to hold out, you know, not wanting to join. But I don't know. We're in this era now where everybody's stacked. Look at the Clippers. When we can talk about the Clippers now, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a stacked team, but it's so crazy. I'm like, yo, that don't bother y'all to look around and it almost looks like an all-star roster, you know?
On every team is, I don't know, man. I guess Jimmy holding it down. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy, yeah.
Jimmy holding
the
it down.
Heat, honestly.
Yeah.
I think.
But they're never gonna win anything because they don't have the superstars. They don't have the firepower. But you know, I appreciate Jimmy and what he's done and what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He keep that feel around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of the youngest that I like that I feel like reminds me of that old Kobe era and stuff like that. Anthony Edwards, bro.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Anthony Edwards made me feel like I'm watching a 06, 07 matchup. Tracy McGrady or something versus Kobe. Like,
Yeah.
he give me that feel. He's cold, bro.
Yeah.
Cold.
Because he wants to defend. I know you saw that.
On Jason Tatum?
Yes. Yes.
Locked him up, picked him, came down, made a great play, came back down, made a shot, came back down, made another shot. I think he like it's good.
Yeah.
I think he took over the fourth. I think he had something crazy like 8 or 9 points in the fourth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love watching him play, bro. He's nice.
Yeah. 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 Ant's one of those guys. that as far as young guys, that's probably as far as with that old school mentality. Yeah, because it's just so.
Yeah, it's a lot of buddy going on.
Yeah.
Even Brian buddy. It's like watching. It's like when I see Brian, it's like he's playing against and with all his little cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
All his little bros and little cousins and stuff. It's all love everywhere. Every time somebody do something, Brian on Twitter like, oh, he had a crazy game. It's no like, I don't know. It's no meanness anymore.
Yeah, and I always think about LeBron as coming in during that because I think that was either his rookie year or his second year when the brawl happened. YouTube came out. You know, I look at Bron is like the generation. And he's old enough to where he's not really in this generation weirdly. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I mean, nigga's about 40 now.
Yeah.
But he came. Yeah, the league. It just like I don't know if he was born 10 years before he was. You know, we might see a different approach, but I think LeBron's literally like the manifestation of this era, you know, because like you said, I know Michael Jordan was like friends with Charles Barkley and them, but you know, but not like you said, like
There was
it's
a certain line niggas knew not to cross.
Yeah.
Niggas used to say like, yo, don't look at Jordan in the eyes before the game. You look at Jordan in the eyes, he gonna goddamn steal your soul, he gonna drop 60, take all your hoes after the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just a little different now.
Yeah. And I, just being honest, I don't think, I hope for more Edwards and Dames, you know, even Draymond. You know, it's so crazy because one thing that just perplexes me about when people have this hate for Draymond, I'm like, Draymond's kind of one of the last, you know, one of them ones. But even though him and Bron became best friends, but you know,
I ain't gonna lie, I still support Draymond, but he getting a little out of hand now. Like chokeholds, like